Have you ever heard of the Diderot Effect? Denis Diderot was a French philosopher. He was poor his whole life until one day he was given a beautiful, expensive red robe. The robe was so fancy that Diderot noticed his old furniture looked ugly next to it. So he bought a new desk, then a new rug, then new paintings. Soon he was in debt, surrounded by expensive things, but he was miserable. He wrote an essay called Regrets on Parting with My Old Dressing Gown. He said, "I was the master of my old robe. I have become the slave of my new one." This is the trap of consumerism. You buy one thing, and it creates a chain reaction of needing more things to match it. You buy the new iPhone, so you need the new AirPods and the new case and the Apple Watch. You are not owning these things. These things are owning you. Welcome to Infinite Systems. Today, I'm going to share the 10 things I stopped buying to regain my freedom and build wealth. This is not about being cheap, it is about being intentional. By cutting out the noise, you can afford the things that actually matter. Item number 1, fast fashion. H&M, Zara, Shein. It is cheap, trendy, and it falls apart in 3 washes. I used to have a closet full of clothes, but I always felt like I had nothing to wear. Why? Because decision fatigue is real. Steve Jobs wore a black turtleneck every day. Mark Zuckerberg wore a gray t-shirt. Why? Because they saved their brain power for billion-dollar decisions, not for choosing an outfit. I stopped buying cheap trends. I now buy high-quality basics that last for years. I own less, but I look better, and I spend 0 energy getting dressed. Item number 2, the latest tech. Upgrading your phone every year is the biggest marketing scam of the 21st century. The difference between the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 16 is invisible to the human eye, but the cost to your wallet is $1,000. If you invest that $1,000 into Apple stock instead of buying their product, in 10 years, the phone is in the landfill, but the stock is worth $3,000. Stop being a loyal customer and start being a shareholder. I use my tech until it breaks. I wear the battery down to 0%. Only then do I upgrade. Item number 3, subscriptions. The subscription economy is designed to bleed you dry, $9.99 at a time. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, Disney+, gym memberships you don't use, apps you forgot about. It feels small, it's just $10, but if you have 10 subscriptions, that's $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. Invested over 10 years, that's $20,000. I did an audit. I canceled everything except the 2 I actually use every day. If I want to watch a movie, I rent it. I don't pay a monthly tax for content I might watch. Item number 4, convenience food. Uber Eats and DoorDash. This is the ultimate wealth killer for Gen Z. You pay $20 for a burger, then $5 for delivery, then $4 service fee, then $5 tip. Your $10 meal becomes a $35 expense, and it arrives cold. It is lazy, it makes you fat, and it makes you broke. Cooking is a basic life skill. If you cannot feed yourself, you are not an adult. I stopped ordering delivery. I buy groceries, I meal prep. My health went up, my bank account went up. Item number 5, sale items. But Ben, it was 50% off. If you buy a $100 shirt for $50, you didn't save $50, you spent $50. Sales are psychological triggers designed to bypass your logic. They create urgency, FOMO. I stopped looking at the sale rack. I only buy something if I planned to buy it before I entered the store. If I wouldn't buy it at full price, I don't buy it on sale. Item number 6, alcohol at bars. I am not saying you can't drink, but look at the markup. A bottle of beer at the store is $1. At a bar, it is $8. That is an 800% markup. A cocktail is $18. That is the price of a share of stock. When you go out every weekend and spend $100 on drinks, you are literally peeing your wealth away.
Plus, the hangover destroys your productivity the next day. I stopped drinking at bars. If I want to socialize, I invite friends over, or we go for coffee. My wallet is heavier, and my head is clearer. Item number 7. Books I don't read. This one hurts. I love books. I used to buy 5 books at a time because I wanted the identity of a reader. But they just sat on my shelf, gathering dust. This is called sundoku in Japanese. I made a rule. I cannot buy a new book until I have finished the current one. This forces me to actually read. It saves money and it reduces clutter. Use the library. It's free. Item number 8. Home decor for others. We buy fancy furniture, throw pillows, and decorations, not because we like them, but because we want our house to look like a magazine for guests. But how often do you have guests? Maybe once a month? For the other 29 days, you were living in a museum you were afraid to touch. I stopped buying decor to impress people. I buy things for utility and comfort. My house is minimal. It is easy to clean. It is a space for living, not for showing off. Item number 9. Extended warranties. When you buy electronics, they always ask, do you want the protection plan for $50? No, never. Mathematically, these warranties are pure profit for the company. They know the product is unlikely to break. You are betting against the house, and the house always wins. Instead, take that $50 and put it in your emergency fund. Self-insure. If it breaks, you have the cash. If it doesn't, you keep the cash. Item number 10. Status. I stopped buying anything whose primary purpose is to signal status to others. I don't buy cars to turn heads. I don't buy watches to flash at meetings. Status is a game you cannot win. There is always someone with a bigger boat. When you stop playing the status game, you become invisible in the best way possible. You move through the world quietly. You accumulate assets quietly. You realize that true confidence comes from your bank account, not your brand name. What happens when you stop buying these 10 things? 3 things happen. First, your savings rate explodes. You suddenly have money to invest. Second, your stress levels drop. You have less clutter in your house and in your brain. Third, you regain control. You are no longer Diderot's slave. You are the master. Minimalism is not about deprivation. It is about making room for what matters. If you love travel, spend money on travel, but cut the rest mercilessly. Don't let your money leak out in 1,000 tiny drips. Channel it into a river of freedom. Audit your spending today. What can you cut? Less junk, more life. Welcome to the system.